Hello everyone, today is Wednesday, August 26th. It's 4:34 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's about 35 minutes after the regular session close. I did trade my LeeLoo account today, but I forgot to turn auto trading on in the AM. So shortly after I awoke this morning and got a look at the market, it was about 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and I turned the Autotrader on just briefly, as I didn't really want to expose myself to any risk, and it took a couple of trades here, and I had a P&L of 170, thereby keeping my winning streak and good stats intact, in spite of that the market went up rather sharply after that, but not without a great deal of volatility. All in all, a pretty good strategy today, avoiding risk and exposure in the market. So yeah, just a couple of trades here, a 170 profit, and here is my stats. So I'm clearly over the $3,000 threshold after commissions, and I've only had a total of 18 trades, and you can see my percent profit went up just a little bit to 83%, and I've only had a drawdown of 375 because almost every day has been a winner. So if we look at the daily win rate, I have 6 trading days. I only need 4 more trading days, so I don't see any reason to take a lot of risk, because I'm essentially qualified, except that I need 4 more trading days. So I'm going to play it relatively conservative to ensure that I get my funded account again. Okay, this 150 tick line break, I'm working on settings for this chart, and I think the key to this chart is smaller targets or a tighter trailing stop than I have here. At 1 tick of profit, I'm trailing by the volatility stop, which is these hash marks, but at 75 ticks, I'm trailing by 0 bars. I think this needs to be tightened, as perhaps these trades here would be winners, but in spite of that, this had 4 losers and 3 winners, and still hit its goal of $500 on a single contract, and all of that was done within 1 hour of trading. So that's pretty impressive. I'm still working on the settings here on a 150 tick line break. A number of people told me they're waiting for the NT8 version of the Autotrader, and I would encourage you to not wait, to get the NT7 version and get familiar with the Autotrader and practice with it and use these templates and get a head start on the NT8 version, as you will be ready to use it by having some familiarity with the Autotrader and how it works. You can still use the NT7 version to help you get qualified for a funded account, as we're showing here. So I'm not sure I'm going to have a price increase after the NT8 version is released. Unfortunately, I had to spend a lot of money to get it reprogrammed, and in order to recover some of that, I may have a price increase, but I'm not sure just yet. Just want to show the other charts that traded in Sim. This is a 500 tick Heikin-Ashi, and this is essentially the 500 tick template, and it's a 16 tick pullback limit order, and this got filled using the open range filter and hit its goal in a very short period of time. So from 9:44 we were out of the trade at 9:47, so less than 4 minutes in the trade, and it hit its goal. So I've been tracking this chart on the bonds, 150 tick line break, and it's not quite consistent enough for me to want to trade it, but this could be improved, and I basically turned this on as close to midnight as possible, and you can see here that it did the best right here after about 9 a.m. in the morning. These 2 trades took us over the line, and it hit its goal of 750. This is another 150 tick line break chart with a 750 goal and 2 contracts. The one I showed you before was a single contract. So this is 2 contracts with slightly different money management. And this also hit its goal. This is using an SMA of 8 as a filter, and so that allows it to get in the trade a little bit earlier. And so here are the trades on this chart, starting at I believe 9:31, so 1 minute after the open. And so it had 2 losers. But in this trade here, it entered at 11,773.50, and the market went as low as 63.50. So there was at least $400 in this trade before it reversed. And then there was a winner, a loser, just a couple of ticks here, and another winner, and that brought it to its goal of 750, and it had some slippage. And the reason we have slippage on the exit, which is not always, sometimes we get positive slippage, but we use a market order when we hit our daily goal. Okay, this is the Super 06 on the E-mini S&P with the Super 06 higher time frame, but the higher time frame has a higher sensitivity. The sensitivity on the base chart is 1, and the sensitivity on the higher time frame chart is 1.4. So this has been a pretty good performer. There was a loser and basically 2 losers and 2 winners, and it hit its goal. And what that tells us is the Autotrader can absorb some losers and still hit its goal. Okay, once again, the micros on the Super 06. This is trading 8 contracts, which would be 80% of the value of the full contract, with a $400 goal, scaling out of the positions. Had several trades here, and ultimately hit its goal. It came really close here, 375, and then it took another trade and probably hit its goal like right here, but got slipped on the way out, which is why it's slightly less here. So perhaps what I need to do is lower the target to 375 so it doesn't have to trade again to make up this little bit. So it's that kind of thinking that you need to take into account when you're making your templates and adjusting your money management. The way this turns out is if I have 2 trades like this, I basically hit 375, and this just needs to be slightly less, I believe. Okay, that's all for today's video. Thank you.